There we go. Hey, Veronica. Is the audio okay? Hello. All right. I'm just gonna. Wait a couple minutes. Hey, Jade. Welcome. Thanks for joining, guys. Today I. Hello. Hello. How's the audio now? Can't hear. Oh. All right. So. All right. How's the audio? You guys can hear me now? Is that better? All right. Hey, guys. The audio is echoing. All right. So I'm just going to get ready today and just talk about any questions you guys want to ask me, and also share a little bit about who I am and also what I've been through, I guess, as a queer Asian person. So if you guys have any questions, just put it down in the chat and I will go along and talk to you guys about it. So I'm just going to put on some toner because my skin is dry, and to be quite honest, I haven't been taking the best care of my skin, but I've been trying. Sometimes it's just hard, I feel like, but it's all effort. And I think skincare and makeup is one way you can feel a little bit better about yourself, and also just take time to look at yourself, touch your face, and it's kind of like a meditative process, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to use a spray toner because it's really, really easy to use. Just like hydrate and just nourish your skin a little bit. Yeah. During this quarantine, I think I've only left the house about 3 times in the month. And it's like for essential stuff, but I've been home just making my space feel comfortable, look good. I'm very thankful to be able to, I guess, work from home and stay at home and be safe. So I'm just really grateful for that. I've been using sunscreen every day, just like regular, because I have big windows in where I live, so I still want to protect my skin regardless of whether I'm going out. I'm gonna use this primer with sunscreen. It's from NYX. It's quite affordable. A little bit more about me. I am a 27-year-old man, and I'm originally from Malaysia. So I would say I'm first generation here, I think, though my parents did come here to study. I came here to go to college, and then ended up, I didn't really enjoy college as much because I felt like I was just very stuck, and I don't know, I just felt like it was too rigid for me and I didn't see where I fit in. And I started doing like beauty videos and just talking about skincare and makeup, which at the time not many men were doing, or people that identify as men. So I guess it was just like kind of liberating for me, and I got to express myself more creatively. Because in school I was going to school for nutrition, and I think like in the STEM field, it's amazing because obviously there's a lot of new technologies and new discoveries with medicine and all of that. I just felt like it wasn't for me. Even though growing up, I thought I definitely wanted to be like a nutritionist or a doctor to help people. Yeah, I think eventually I found that I was definitely more of a creative person, and I loved expressing myself creatively. And that's something I really suppressed because in Asian or Southeast Asian culture, that's kind of the only way to go. The only way to make money, make a living, be successful in your parents' eyes. So I tried it all. I did the whole community college and then applying for grants, scholarships, and then going to college. And I guess it just didn't really work out. So I remember when I was in school one time, it was either I finished this video that I was really passionate about, or I finished studying for this test the next day. And I decided to do the video instead of test. I think that's like how I realized that I wasn't in it, like school wasn't it for me. But I do think school is it's great for everyone just to like dabble and find out what you don't like, because I think knowing what you don't want to do is just as important as knowing what you want to do in the future. So you kind of have to try out new things. Yeah. If you guys have any questions for me, just leave it in the comment section so then I can answer them as I go along. Otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of like rant, you know? All right. I'm gonna go in with this CC cream with SPF. Like I said, I think like if you're doing Zoom calls and stuff like that, you don't really need to wear makeup. I feel like it's just such another layer on top of getting ready and stuff. But if it makes you feel good, it makes you feel happy, if it makes you feel refreshed, then why not, right? This Ilia skin tint also has SPF. So this is not my shade, so I just try to mix the two. I tend to use products that are kind of more sheer with sunscreen in them for daily use. So that's comfortable for the skin. I can also work out in this. It doesn't feel heavy or anything like that. So I just kind of mix the two and just dab it with my fingers. It's like good protection and also just like evening up the skin tone. I feel like on camera it might look a little bit like the color's different, but it's as close as I get, you know? You just want to use a blender and pounce it. And these days, because I'm at home, I don't really wear like full coverage. I find that it's like kind of heavy on the skin. I just go for really sheer products. How was your day? My day was great. I've honestly, while I'm at home these days, I've been finding small ways to occupy myself and make myself happy. And it's just like in the small things, like applying makeup or doing your skincare, taking out the trash, like washing your dishes, making some food for yourself, nourishing yourself. Like those things, I'm very thankful that I'm like privileged enough to do at home. So yeah, those things have made me quite happy. Yeah, and just like one thing with social isolation that has done for me is that I don't really need to take in as much, I guess, judgment from other people. And growing up as kind of like a more effeminate Asian man, that's also queer, there's so many layers of judgment that I feel like I've had endured and just taken in. Like, just for example, like this right here is the longest my hair has ever been, and it feels quite freeing. Like it's definitely maintenance, but it's also quite freeing for me, you know, because I've always wanted to look more masculine, make my parents proud, make society proud, because as an Asian man, I think there's so much pressure to break the stereotype of being effeminate and not masculine, but I am who I am, and I think being in isolation has made me realize that I can just kind of be whoever I want. Yeah. What are skincare products that are necessary? I'm a broke student who just wants nice skin. So everybody's skin is nice. I think It just depends on what kind of products you use, right? I think the most important for me is definitely a good oil cleanser, and a good, like, cleansing is so important to me. Just, I really like the DHC deep cleansing oil for starters because it's such a useful basic cleanser that everyone can use. So oil cleansing is a must, and then regular cleansing, and then just use a very simple moisturizer in the nighttime, and then in the daytime use the one with sunscreen. So that's literally it. Like, deep double cleanse with an oil cleanser and then moisturize. And honestly, that saved my skin. Hi everybody. Hi Leo. Yay. I'm also gonna put on lip balm, and these days I've been really like enjoying tinted lip balm. This one's by Milk. Very, very simple product, and it just livens up everything. I feel like tinted lip balm. It's in the shade Nova. It's kind of like a peachy orange shade. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, keep going because I'm just answer them. I feel my skin is too oily. How can you apply your skincare routine? So if you have oily skin, most of the time it's also because you have dehydrated skin. So you want to make sure to use kind of like a gel-based moisturizer or very lightweight toner just to put in some moisture for your skin also. Because I think the tendency of people when they have oily skin is to just dry out their skin, and that's not what you want to do. I'm just going to use a light coat of powder for daily. Don't use that much powder. And then brows. Brows are very important. I think strong brows really commend the room. So yeah. How do you figure out your skin type? I think everybody's skin type is very different. You just have to find products that kind of work for you. If you find that you get oily throughout the day and you produce a lot of sebum and oils, you definitely probably have dehydrated and oily skin, and your skin is compensating by producing more oil because your skin is so dehydrated. So you want to make sure to layer on moisture lightly to help recondition your skin. And if your skin feels tight and like kind of hurts when you wash it, your skin's probably really dry and sensitive, and you want to use products that can nourish your skin and kind of replenish that barrier. Mascara is great. I wish I knew how to put on mascara, but I don't. I don't really wear mascara because I find it quite difficult. And also for me as a person with hooded eyes, the mascara always gets onto my eyelids. So it's quite an ordeal, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm just gonna like pencil in my eyebrows too. I really like this pencil. It's like I like the triangle shaped pencils. Very, very quick and easy. Honestly, for day-to-day looks, I just use concealer, some pencil, eyebrows, and some tinted lip balm. When I want to look fresh and glowy, I will go in with some blush. Like, blush is amazing. I like these from the drugstore. This is from Milani. Simple, easy, lovely rose baked blush. You can use whatever color you like. I like this one right here because it has like little small reflex that make your skin look glowy, I guess. This one is in Spice Chai, I think. Spice Rose. I just like kind of just tap it like that. Like I said, my skin is not looking its best because I think I over exfoliate the other day. That's one thing too. Like when I'm in quarantine, I kind of want to use all my products, but it's actually better to use less sometimes. I have a really good question for you. Yes, go ahead. Do I have a boyfriend right now? No, I do not. I am single, which is totally okay. Like, I'm enjoying my time. All right, so blush is done. I usually just sweep it all over the face. I think a little bit blush on the nose makes you look kind of like livelier too. So I just tap blush right here and just go over my nose like that. Just tap, just tap. What do I do when I'm feeling under the weather or dealing with insecurities to keep my work and makeup and art account running? So for me, I think I am under the weather like everyone, like kind of a lot. And during this quarantine, I think it's important to realize that we are going through a global pandemic, and it's good to not be so hard on yourself. Because we're just trying to survive. We're just trying to live. So trying to understand that your self-worth as a human being is not tied to your productivity or your creativity or any of that. Like, you are not your work. You are so much more than that. So I think taking time to kind of process that and realize that, and taking time for yourself to think really has helped me. And for me, writing is not work. Writing or putting on makeup is not work. Like, it really makes me feel like happy. I love writing. I love putting on makeup. I love sharing what I do. Sometimes it does get overwhelming and I don't want to do anything, and that's fine. I just let myself rest. I sleep. I take naps. I stretch. I eat. Those are all things that it's hard to do sometimes, but they help your soul. You need to plan things for happiness. Like, I think rest is something that our society has told us is not productive. Like, we're made to feel bad, to rest, to nap, to not work. But in order to perform and do your best, you need rest. You need to replenish your heart. You need to replenish this in order to be creative. So definitely don't feel bad about taking rest. It's all productive. And you are being productive by being home because you're helping flatten the curve. So if you think of it that way, you're actually doing more by staying in and not doing anything. I really hope that helps you in changing your thinking about productivity. My favorite makeup brands. I have a lot of favorite makeup brands, Jack. But I love makeup brands that support, queer people of color and just uplift people. So I really do love NYX Cosmetics. I think they're amazing. I love Milk Makeup. I really love Elf, making it affordable for everyone to kind of play with makeup, like starting out. Obviously, Fenty is amazing. Urban Decay, I love that. So, when you're having a bad day, what are things to make yourself feel better? Okay, so bad days. So, um, what do I do to help myself feel better? I play games. I play video games sometimes. It really helps me feel better. I turn on my lava lamp and sometimes I stare at the bubbles going up and down. That makes me feel better. I put on some makeup and kind of like try new looks. That kind of makes me feel better. Listening to music while I pet my cat. The small things really do make me feel better. It makes my cat reminds me a lot of like just being still, because animals are they live in the moment. They're so kind. They have no bad intentions. So looking at my cat actually makes me feel a lot better. Also calling my friends. Like, since I'm alone in isolation, um, FaceTime calls are very, very near and dear to me. I really appreciate them. I really appreciate also checking up on my friends. It makes me feel good. So yeah, those are some small things that makes me feel better. I was wondering what videos you have been doing over quarantine. Honestly, I've just been vlogging my life and just vlogging what I love. I haven't been vlogging too much because I've been taking space to figure out what I want in my life and also figure out how I want to present to people. Like I said, I'm going through kind of a self-discovery during this time as well. Could you talk in Spanish? My Spanish is no bueno. So no. Yeah, I'm not gonna even attempt because I'm gonna be like really embarrassed. Use brow mascara, keep everything in place. And honestly, looking good for Zoom calls is according to you, right? Like whatever you find makes yourself feel the best is what you should do. And for me, it's just this kind of like very glowy, like just glowy and blushy look makes me feel the most like me. I also painted my nails. That makes me feel better. Black nails for some reason. I this is the first year that I've ever painted my nails. 2020, a lot of new things, but painting my nails in itself feels very empowering to me because as a kid growing up as a boy, I was always told not to keep my hair long. I was always told not to paint my nails. So this is very I don't know, I feel very myself. And also pierced ears. I got it this year. So all of this in 1 year. I definitely am going through kind of like a self-discovery period during this quarantine. And I'm enjoying every moment of it. It's hard, but writing and listening to music and just talking it out with my friends about how I've been feeling has really been helpful. I'm gonna put on more lip balm because I drink a lot of coffee and a lot of tea. So yeah, it's like, yeah. Metamorphosis time 2020. For sure. I definitely think I'm going through a lot of changes and learning a lot about myself and learning a lot in general. But if you're not doing that, it's totally fine too. Take it at your own pace. Not everyone has to come out of this quarantine more successful, more wise, and more like fit, because that definitely is like, if you want to, that's totally okay. Like if you want to get like shredded, you want to read like 10 books, you want to have a whole business plan for your life after coming out of quarantine, that's like awesome for you, because I know a lot of people are like that. But if you need time to just rest and reevaluate everything, that's also great. Or you want to play games, eat good food, and spend time with your family, that's also fine. Like not everything has to be a contest of productivity and accomplishment. If I was I love you too, Kennedy. Someone asked about smaller pores and what I can do about them. So pore size is not something you can just diminish. Definitely proper cleansing, like I said, oil cleansers would definitely help remove all that makeup that could clog your pores and just kind of massage your sebum out. I definitely think a combination of BHA products like beta hydroxy acids and also a combination of retinol would definitely help your pore size. And in the daytime, I use a niacinamide based serum with vitamin C to help the skin. I'm gonna add more blush because why not? I'm at home anyways. And if anybody is starting out with makeup, I think this is a great time to start because you're at home. And if you're afraid, if you're someone that's afraid of judgment, this is the best time because nobody's gonna judge you. And it's all pigment. Makeup is powder, you know? You can play with it, take it off at the end of the day. It's really not that deep as people think of it. And for me, makeup has always been a way that I broke out of my just like masculine box that people put me in. But now I'm like slowly finding other ways to also experiment with that. My biggest dream. Thanks for that loud. Oh, my foot fell asleep. Okay, I'm gonna sit down like this. Okay, better. My biggest dream is for everyone to live freely and very authentically them. My biggest dream is for people to feel very free in themselves so that they don't have to censor themselves or feel like they have to hide who they are. I think that's that freeing feeling is something that is so happy. I think everybody just wants to be loved for who they are, and that's very, very important. And for someone that's been in many, many relationships, friends, lovers, the happiest feeling is when somebody can really see you for who you are and still love you regardless. And that's what I want for everyone to at least experience it once in their life so that they know that it's possible. My foot is my foot is asleep. I'm sorry. Do you guys have any more questions? I'll do like probably 5 more minutes of a Q&A. I want to try makeup, but I have an Asian family, so I'm afraid of their reactions. I'm assuming that you're a boy that wants to wear makeup and your family is probably maybe not accepting of that. Personally, for me, when I first started out with makeup, it was gradual, so that, you know, like you don't kind of shock them that you're wearing like a full face. So for me, my tip is to slowly show them a little bit more. So I would start out with like, say, just foundation. And then after a little bit, I would just add concealer. And then a little bit more, I would add blush. And then I would add eyeshadow. So it's kind of like a gradual process. And eventually, hopefully, they will be okay with it. Oh. Have you started racism? I mean, I've been refused Uber and Lyft rides because of my name, but I don't try to take it personally because other people's reactions are just reflections on them and not me as a person. So I have, but I am able to process it in a way that I'm not self-deprecating about being who I am. If that makes sense. And I also want to say, like, you know, if you're struggling with your sexuality and just not knowing who you are and figuring out who you are, I'm still doing that. I'm still figuring out who I am, and I'm 28. Every single day is a chance to really get to know who you are as a person, and it definitely gets better. And I'm very thankful for my friends and for all the organizations and all the brands that have kind of supported me and you guys on my journey of self-discovery. And there are always hotlines and organizations like It Gets Better out there to help support you in your journey. You just have to pick up and call and somebody will be there. So I think a lot of times we do feel very alone and isolated, especially right now. If you are experiencing that, help is there. What's relationship? That's awesome. I'm really happy that you have a good relationship with your teacher, because that's great. Thank you, Owen. Thanks for the love. Um, yeah, I've been really, really thankful and just taking it one day at a time, honestly. Thank you for donating, if you guys have donated to the organization, because it does help LGBT youth in need, and we definitely need more of those. Yeah, any other questions? Let me know. Okay. So, all right, guys, Ivan, what do you feel? I'm gonna answer a couple more questions and then I will say goodbye and let you guys be on your merry way. What do you feel has been your biggest lesson during the quarantine? There's a lot of lessons, I feel like, during the quarantine, just because I've been really, really introspective and just really thinking about how I want to show up in the world. But I definitely think like getting to know yourself is definitely one of the biggest lessons that I've learned. I didn't realize how anxious and how uneasy it was to just sit with myself, if that makes sense. Like, I think a lot of times we use productivity, we use friends, we use social media as kind of like a distraction from feeling things or from realizing things about ourselves that we don't want to face. And especially as LGBT plus individuals, there's a lot of layers that society places on us to hide ourselves, to censor ourselves, to make ourselves feel smaller. And sometimes it's hard to just sit with yourself, to look at yourself when everybody's telling you that you're wrong or you're not worthy. And what I've been learning during quarantine, my biggest lesson is that your story is so amazing and you're so special. Like, I look at myself sometimes and I think the biggest thing that happened to me was that I looked in a mirror and I smiled and I really felt happy. Like, I actually felt like this is me as a person and I love it. I love me. And it's hard to always love you every day, but just like start with smiling to yourself and being kind to yourself. Do you feel lonely sometimes? Like seeing every single of your straight people being with someone but you? Um, I I would be lying if I said it isn't lonely, being single and alone in quarantine. Uh, but I'm learning not to define myself by another person in a relationship, or a boyfriend or a partner or girlfriend, because I am enough and I'm a full whole person. And I'm just starting to realize that. And the moment I got out of a relationship is when I actually faced a lot of things on my own. Like, I realized that I need to be very happy with myself before I can be with somebody else. But I love it because I don't have to wait on somebody else's time. I don't have to worry about somebody else's feelings about something else. It's all just me and my head. It's like sometimes it's like having a dog, you know. You have to walk the dog, you have to water, like you have to feed your dog on certain times, but when you're single, you don't have to do all those things. You do everything on your own time and emotions. So I enjoy it, but yes, it does feel lonely sometimes. Thank you so much for all the lovely questions and just your presence and supporting this organization. It Gets Better really is an important organization that is doing good work, And if you ever need anything, please reach out. Please reach out. All right, guys. Thank you guys for all the kind words. I read them in the comments right now. And I want to say, you guys are all worthy of love. You guys all deserve love. Take care of yourselves. Make sure to always stay hydrated, eat well, journal your thoughts, and it really does get better. I know it's like hard sometimes, but the biggest quote that I have that has been getting me through this time is, "This too shall pass." And there's so many moments in life that are really difficult, and I've always felt like when I'm in that moment that my life, my whole world is shattering, like there's no future. But that's life, and I've accepted that there will be hard times and there will be good times, and the hard times will pass because good times are coming. Just have to get through them together. All right. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Summary: sunscreen is a must every day. Just some tinted moisturizer and concealer. Lots of blush. A tinted lip balm that hydrates your lips, so you drink water and like coffee, so it doesn't like dry out your lips. Some bold brows and positivity. All right, guys. I hope you guys are taking good care of yourselves. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, and thank you. It Gets Better for hosting this and just doing good work. I want to say thank you for everyone for joining. See you guys.